Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fact Finder. Get ready because today we're diving into the depths of history and maybe even a bit beyond. We're going to talk about what might have been the first serial killer in history, living around 400,000 years ago. And here's an interesting detail. He wasn't even considered a human. He was a Homo heidelbergensis. That's right, a real tongue twister. And if that's not enough, we'll also explore why the head of the first serial killer in Portugal was preserved in a jar. Yes, it's as bizarre as it sounds. So make sure to subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and let's jump into the video. 1. The Cave of Bones. In the municipality of Atapuerca, Spain, there is a fascinating and eerie place known as Cima de los Huesos, or the Pit of Bones. This cave was discovered in 1976 and is located 13 meters below the surface. In 2013, an extraordinary find was made. Scientists uncovered over 2,000 bone fragments inside this cave, belonging to at least 28 different individuals. These bones are at least 300,000 years old. Dating back to the Middle Pleistocene, the remains are of a species known as Homo heidelbergensis, an ancestor of the Neanderthals. What's particularly intriguing is that the cave did not appear to be a residence or a place of habitation. With its narrow walls and deep, inaccessible bottom, it was not suitable for living conditions. This suggests that the bodies were deliberately discarded there. This discovery raises the possibility that the site might have been used by a predator, indicating the presence of the first serial killer in history. Imagine an aggressor from 400,000 years ago using this cave as a place to dispose of their victims. 2. Forensic analysis. After the discovery of the bones, scientists conducted a thorough analysis to understand what had happened to these victims. The study revealed disturbing details. Some of the bones showed injuries caused by hard objects, such as wood or stone. These injuries were identified as potential marks from blunt force attacks, suggesting that the victims were struck with rudimentary weapons. This indicates that the aggressor not only killed their victims, but also used tools to do so. Additionally, scientists found that these injuries were not limited to a single skeleton, but were present across multiple bones from different individuals. Forensic analysis suggests that the total number of victims could have been much higher than initially estimated. This methodical pattern of attack and the way the bodies were discarded lead to the conclusion that we are dealing with a true serial killer from the Pleistocene era. Although the aggressor was not human, but rather a distant ancestor, this discovery provides an intriguing glimpse into violence in prehistory. 3. Portugal's first serial killer, Diogo Alves. Now let's jump forward to the early 19th century and meet Diogo Alves, the first serial killer in Portugal. Born in 1810, Diogo Alves led a life marked by horrific crimes that terrorized Lisbon. He began his criminal career in a particularly brutal fashion. Diogo lured his victims to the top of the Aqueduto das Águas Livres, a massive 60-meter-high water distribution structure built in the 18th century. Once there, he pushed his victims off the top, causing instant death from the fall. For years, the bodies found around the aqueduct were thought to be suicides, as there were no signs of struggle. It wasn't until 1839 that Diogo Alves was finally apprehended by the authorities. The official count of his victims was around 70, but it's believed he may have killed up to 100 people over his 3 years of criminal activity. His crimes shocked the society of the time and marked a brutal end to his criminal spree. 4. The head in the jar. After Diogo Alves' execution in February 1841, things took an even more macabre turn. Instead of simply burying his body, his head was removed and preserved in a jar of formaldehyde. The decision to preserve his head was made by Dr. José Lourenço de Luz, a physician and professor who was deeply interested in studying the mind of a psychopath. He believed that by examining the skull, he could gain insights into psychopathy and criminal behavior. Today, Diogo Alves' head remains preserved and is on display at the Faculty of Medicine of the University of Lisbon, but only for students. The general public does not have access to this disturbing piece of Portuguese history. Diogo Alves' head remains a unique and unsettling relic of criminal and scientific history, a grim reminder of the depths of human evil. So folks, what did you think of this chilling story? A serial killer who wasn't even human and a head preserved in a jar for almost 2 centuries? If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and let us know in the comments what other fascinating topics you'd like to see here. See you in the next video, everyone. Thanks for watching.